Welcome, everybody. No intro today. We're getting right into this. There's been some terrible news going into the 2025 Pokemon season that starts in just a few days. On July 1st, you can start doing some championship point events, and you might as well get on it because it's not going to matter for you to make worlds. So you might as well do it anyway. So we're going to talk about that, and this is really bad, and it's really frustrating because Pokemon has been on the come up, especially VGC has been, before there was regionals with 30, 40 people, right? Just, 10 years ago. And now there's regionals with 900 plus people. And now I think there might be regionals with just a couple hundred people. And we'll talk about why here. They say as it grows, adjustments have been, to for the variety of long-term benefits. That's funny. So the way it worked before is you'd have to get 500 championship points to qualify for Worlds, and that was a fair total because with BFLs, which are the amount of times you can do a tournament and earn points for them, and it gives you the best finishes based on your total there. So let's say you went to 7 premier challenges, it would tally those 7 but only give you the top 6 of those. So if you got 6 wins and then you went to a 7th one and you got 5th, and you got like 5 points or whatever, it wouldn't count that one. You would just get the one for all the wins. So that's how it worked before, but now it is not going to be working that way because they are getting rid of that barrier, and they are making it so only 75 people from the US, 75 people from Europe, 50 from Latin America, and 20 from Oceania can qualify for the Worlds. And this is going to be the top earners of CP in those areas. So they just made the game super paid to participate. And the Middle East and South Africa don't even think about competing because there's really no point. And I know there are some players from the Middle East and South Africa. So the fact that they are completely eliminated from being able to make Worlds in VGC is kind of crazy. It's absolutely ridiculous and definitely should be changed before they go any further, because this definitely should have put 10 on here, put some amount on here. Let these people participate, right? Everybody deserves to participate. And just saying that they can't participate because you just don't want them to is kind of insane. Even make it 5, right? They have 5 here. Just make it 5. Just this is disgusting. But yeah, so anyway, it's gonna be the top earners. Though if you do win a regionals or special event, it's called special championship now for some reason. You do get an invitation. If you get top 4 of an international, you do get an invitation. Those are going to be the same players who would be in this top 75 anyways. It's an additional, so that will move down. Though, if somebody does win 2 regionals, that regional winner, like the regional win, doesn't go down to the next person for that invite. So you can win a regionals or get second at regionals to somebody who's won 2 regionals and not earn an invite. So it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. We'll get to the point system in a minute here. So yeah, only 75 players here. So there's going to be a lot less players. There's going to be 220 plus whoever wins these, plus the people from East Asia who don't use this system, which they should use a championship point system because their system is terrible. It's best of ones, single or double elimination. It's really bad over there too. But we're gonna talk about the best finish limits. So this is going to be essentially how many of these events you can do and earn points, like I just said. It was 6. Now it's 4. I believe it was 6. And then for the Global Challenge, it is 3, which I think it was already because there was only 3. And I think there's probably only going to be 3 again, which is unfortunate. And let's kind of look at this because they did lower the amount of championship points. It's 15 for the challenge, 12. 10. So this is pretty bad, right? If you could get 65 players, maybe TCG is putting this out because this is for everything, but in VGC you're not getting this, right? You're gonna get this, maybe this if you're lucky. So top 8's gonna get 8 points. What's that gonna do? If you're trying to get top 75, if we look at the top people in VGC right now for championship points, what's eight? They could get rid of 17 eights and not even notice. There's people 1,600 right now, championship points. So I mean, this is nothing. You can't crack top 75 by doing any of these cup challenges. They might just help you, feel better about your team. Um, the actual league cups give you 50, which is a decent amount, and if you win 4, that's going to be 200. That's okay. So you get 260 if you're a local champion, if you're the hero of the locals. But after you do 4 and you win 4, you kind of like, I don't want to play any more of these, and that's going to kill a lot of these leagues. Same with the cups. After you win 4, it's not going to really happen. But the problem is, you're not going to really win 4 because some places are stacked. Like Massachusetts is pretty stacked, so winning 4 is going to be really, really tough. And then we talk about the global challenge. This is global. This is everybody. I don't know what happens if somebody from the Middle East or South Africa gets first place. I guess they just get first place and they're just like, yeah, here I am. I guess they can go to the internationals and get an invite because it doesn't count for this. But if they're doing something like going for the championship points in the global challenge, it doesn't really matter. Not that they could even get anywhere. So there's no reason for them to go to internationals or any other events, which is just stupid. This not the internationals, the regionals or anything. It's just stupid. So yeah, but if we look here, I mean, this is everybody in the world. Getting first place is one of the most ridiculous things you could do, especially in a best of one format where you're just facing random people. Yeah, some of the best players are going to be up here, but there's a lot of cheese strats that actually do extremely well that people use. So even getting this 140 points is going to be ridiculously hard. So I think a lot of people will fall for the 20 points and probably all 3 of these. So if you do this, that's 60 points. Do this 200, that's 60 points. So you can get 320 points from being a local hero. Now, 320 points isn't even enough to qualify for Worlds now, and that's fine. If it was a 500 point limit, that is perfectly fine. It makes sense. You can't. It's going to be hard to try to make Worlds based off of just hanging out your locals, and that should be fine. You should have to go to a bigger event to show something, but regionals should be just that, regional, but they're not, and we'll talk about that in a little bit too. But let's talk about this little board here. So we have 6 BFLs, and that's going to be combined for internationals and specials. So you can, if you go to all 3 internationals, which a lot of players do, which is part of the problem, and you go to 3 regionals and you do pretty well at them, you can just dominate anybody who dominated their local scene. So let's say you go to all 3 internationals because you're rich, and you get top 50, 252, which isn't too bad in a 513 person tournament. 256 is going to be, I said 252, my bad. 256 isn't too bad. That's less than half, right? So I mean, more than half of the people, or it's exactly half. Sorry, and so you're going to have to beat half. So you go what, like 5 and 4 or whatever, or I guess 5 and 3 now, and you get 120 points for going 5 and 3. That's pretty good. That's not bad, right? That's not bad. And 500's not, we're not reaching the 1,000 kicker, especially with the amount of people who are going to drop. Internationals might still have a lot of players, but they're usually capping VGC at 900 and something, so never hitting this. So yeah, so that's exactly where it's going to be, and you get 120 points. So you do that 3 times, you get 120 points times 3. That's 360. That's more than this person has earned from playing for the last like 5 months from you going to all 3 internationals. So you're already ahead of them, and most likely the person who's getting this is going to have gotten points from these as well, including maybe those, and definitely going to get the 20 points off of this. So they're going to have those 60 points there. They might have another 320 there. So you're having 360 plus the 320. I mean, you're already way ahead. It's not looking good, right? So let's say you do pretty well at there. So now you're getting that, and then you go to a regionals, and the regionals also 520 kicker. You get, top half, you're getting 60 points. That's a lot of points. If you're able to go to 3, you're going to get 180. So 180 plus that's enough to qualify for Worlds now. But let's say you come in second place. Okay. So let's say you can only go to one regionals this year and you get the finals and you're facing, Wolf Glick, who already won a regional this year, and you get second place and you get 325 points and you've gotten all these points, another 320, you're at 245. Okay, you're at 645. I don't know what I'm saying. 645, right? And but you did not get this free invite because you lost to Wolf, who already has his invite from winning a regionals. So you don't earn a regionals there. You only have 600 points. You do not earn an invite because you are not the top 75, but you couldn't afford to go to another regionals. So getting second has gotten you nothing. Whereas now, if you got second and then just did decently well at these, you have a world's invite. And as you should, you were the second best player at a regional. You should. You get top 8 twice. Twice. You get top 8. Nothing. You don't get nothing. You might not make worlds. You can afford to go to 2, and you go to an international, you get 120 points, and then you got a top 8 that's 400 points, and then let's say the other regional you did okay, you got 100 points. There you go. You got 500 points. You'd make worlds. Plus you have this stuff, right? So, let's say you got 320 off of this. You're probably still not making worlds. And that's crazy because somebody's going to go to 10 regionals and they're going to, get top 16 and a top 8 and a top, 32. And they're going to go to 3 internationals and they're going to get 150, 400 points and then 250. And they don't even have to do this and they still beat you. And there's going to be 75 of those people. Right now, I can name 12 people who go to every event, right? And that's just the ones I can name off the top of my head. But if you look at that list, the list is crazy. Everybody's over 700, 800 CP because they go to so many events. And they just have to place decently well, and you'll just never be able to catch up unless you can go to 3 internationals and you can place in the top 64 on 3 internationals, and you can go to 3 regionals and you can top 32 and 3 regionals. You're not going to pass these people. There's just no way. You can't do it. These points mean nothing unless you're getting first place in the global challenge. I guess if you're getting up to top 32 in the global challenge, the points matter. After that, the points don't matter because the points are so ridiculously high from going to these that these just don't matter. Especially these challenges, these don't matter. 60 points from this. I mean, you could just show up to the regional and accidentally get 60 points here, right? This means nothing. This means absolutely nothing. You go 4-4, you get 60. Here you have to go, if you have 33 people, you're going to have to go 5-0 and then you have to win in top cut to get 15 points. But they have changed a couple more things, and we'll talk about those too. More booster packs, but the cash prizes have decreased. I know it has for the regionals. I'm not sure about these numbers. I don't remember what they are, but I just know you are getting less money. And then they got the travel rewards, right? So the travel rewards for the first to fourth player, those players don't need the travel rewards, okay? These are going to be rich people anyways. So whatever. And then we're going to talk about Swiss rounds because it's a big change to Swiss rounds. We've been in this area once again. 11 now. There used to be 14 Swiss rounds, 15 at a couple events, but now there's going to be 11. And you might go, well, that's fine. Less rounds to be played. Well, no, it's kind of worse because there's going to be more bubble out. So a bubble out is somebody who's on the same record as you who doesn't make top cut. And the problem with this, even though they did make this change, which I do like this change, but they're doing it wrong. After the Swiss rounds are complete, top 8 competitors plus all competitors with the same number of match points as 8th place to a maximum of 32 players will advance to an asymmetrical top cut single elimination bracket. That's fine. So essentially you're doing what I said that they should be doing a long time ago, though taking out these rounds means that there's going to be way more people on the bubble. If you have 900 people, to cut to the top 32 after 11 rounds is going to be still some people missing out, whereas it should just be all of them. It shouldn't be to a max of 32. It should be all of them, because what can happen is your resistance, which resistance is how well your opponent has done in that tournament. Your resistance is on based on 3 people. That's how it works. It doesn't count your day 1 unless they make this change, which I haven't read anywhere. Overall, to promote the top cut, some skill reducing factors. Yeah, see, so they're not changing it. They're just reducing the damage essentially. So let's say you went, 6-2 on day 1, right? So you're going into day 2 and you've beat your first opponent. Your opponent knows that they're now out of top cut contention, so they just drop. Then you beat your second opponent and they know they're out of top cut contention, so they just drop. And then you beat your third opponent, and so now you got all 3 wins. You might still miss top cut because the 2 opponents that drop, so you might be the 33rd player in that ranking, because of that. And so this will mitigate a lot of it, but it just still doesn't solve the issue. It should just be every single person. Make this 4 rounds if you're going to cut 1 round from day 1. We got to have more rounds. Make resistance count for both days, because when you're getting up to 8 rounds, you're facing really good players in those final rounds, people who made day 2, but like the resistance is going to be significantly less when you're facing in 0-1 and they dropped, and 0-2 and they dropped. You know what I mean? So the resistance is going to be way, way worse going forward into that. So it's just really, really bad. But yeah, that's kind of how it goes. And then they put out the regional list, and there's going to be significantly less regionals this year. This only goes up to December, so they're going to obviously add some more post New Year, but they have not said that yet. And that list of regionals was accurate. It has all of them on here, but there are some that were on that list that aren't on here. Maybe those are going to be the ones that come after the new year. So we got Baltimore as the first one. There's only 3 in the United States. We got Baltimore, Kentucky, and we have Sacramento, and then we have 1 in Canada, so 4 in North America. I do like the fact that there are some more events in South America and Central America. So that's really good. We got Argentina, Colombia. So there's going to be 4 there, Peru and Brazil. And then we have Germany, France, Poland, and Germany again. Also having 4 in Europe is fine. But whoever can just, there's going to be some people who just literally go to almost all of these, right? They might not go to Lima. They might not. But they're definitely going to go to Germany. They're going to go to Baltimore. They're going to go to France, Poland. They're going to go to Kentucky, right? They're going to go to all of these, and those are the people who are going to be in the top 75. And then the 3 international, I think they're in the exact same spot that they were last year. I could be wrong. I don't remember if this was in Brazil, if it was in this exact place either. But this was in London, and this was in. We know this is the exact same one because they mentioned it on the actual thing. So, yeah, it's looking pretty bad. It's looking pretty bad. This is going to really hurt people's determination on trying to make worlds, because now it's going to be financially impossible for most people to even qualify. And there's some people out there who just want to qualify, who know they can't go to Worlds because they can't afford it, especially with it being in Hawaii this year. But they wanted the opportunity and, be like, I'm good enough to qualify for Worlds. Well, now you're not. You're not, unless you are rich. The rich will be those ones. If you go to one regional and you win, then yeah, I mean that's definitely a way to do it. But it's going to be so hard because the same people who can afford to go to all of these are going to be the same people who are going to be in these top cuts, just like we see now, because they have the most money and the most time and the most all that stuff that helps them be better at the game. And we do see some breakout people, and I hope that these regionals are just filled with breakout people, because those people who are already going to be in this top 75 from just existing, they don't need to get the wins, right? Let the other people win. Let the other people win. Let the poor boys into the world's group. But unfortunately today, the elitists who have said world should be more exclusive have won. But hopefully down the line, Pokemon realizes that this is a terrible system and that the number of regional participants drops significantly, and we can move back to an older system. But until then, Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, make sure you guys thumbs it up. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do so. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.